Hi, I will be reading day 5 of Home of the Brave. Okay, let's get started. Pages 70 to 91. Ready. You're not going to understand a lot of what we say at first, Miss Hernandez said. This is called an ESL class. You and your classmates will be learning English together. It means they won't always understand you, and you won't always understand them. I'm used to not understanding, I say. It's like playing a game with no rules. She nods. That's exactly what it's like. I know because when I came to the US from Mexico, I could not speak a word of English. This is a surprise. A teacher who did not know all things? Did you not know things also? I asked Mr. Franklin. Me? I'm from Baton Rouge, he says. It's kind of like another country. I couldn't understand these crazy northern folk for the longest time. Some of his words get lost on their way to my ears, but I can see from his face that his meaning is kind. When you have a question, Mr. Franklin, and I will be here to help, says Miss Hernandez. She points to the sky. You just raise your hand like this, okay? I nod. I say, okay. Just like her, I raise my hand. Yes, she says, smiling big. I asked, when will the learning begin? Cattle. In my class, my long name class called English as a Second Language, we are 16 people with 12 ways of talking. When we talk at once, we sound like the music class I can hear down the hall. Hoots and squeaks and thuds, but no songs you can sing. I look at our faces and see all the colors of the earth. Brown and pink and yellow and white and black. And yet we are all sitting at the same desk wanting to learn the same things. Miss Hernandez tells everyone my name in my old home. Then she asks us to draw a picture on the black wall to show where we are from. One boy, Jaime from Guatemala, draws a mountain with a hole called a volcano. Sahar from Afghanistan draws a camel, though to be truthful, it looks like a lumpy dog. I draw a bull with great curving horns, like the finest in my father's herd. I even give him a smile, but it takes me a while to decide on his coat. In my words, we have 10 different names for the color of cattle, but the writing chalk is only white. I am working on the tail when someone in the back of the room says, moo. Then more say it, and soon we are a class of cattle. At last we can all understand each other. I think maybe some of the students are laughing at me, but I don't mind so much. To hear cattle again is good music. Lunch. After much schooling, a sound comes like a great bee buzzing. The bell means lunch, Mr. Franklin explains. He gives me a small piece of blue paper. This is for your food. Thank you very much, I say in the most polite English words, but I don't understand how the paper can help my noisy belly. You give the paper to the cooking people, and they will give you food, Mr. Franklin explains. Tastes much better than paper. He laughs. Well, usually, anyways. The eating room is grand with long tables and strange and wonderful smells and many students chattering. Stand in a line, and soon kind white-hatted people fill my plate high with food. Ahead of me, I see the snowball girl named Hannah from my building. She says, "Don't eat the mystery meat if you value your life." She points to the brown, wet pile on my plate and makes a face that says bad taste. When my tray is heavy with the gifts of food, I stand still in the stream of students. I don't know where to go to enjoy my feast. Hannah waves. Follow me, she says. I'll tell you what's safe to eat. But it's all so fine, I say. She shakes her head. Kid, you got a lot to learn. Fries. We sit at one of the long tables near my two students from my class, Jaime, the boy from Guatemala, and Nishan, a girl from Ethiopia. Hey, Jaime says. Hey, I say back. But I can't talk anymore because my mouth is already full of new tastes. Excuse me, I say when I have swallowed at last. But what is this amazing food? I hold up a brown stick. Fry, Hannah says. One of the 5 major food groups. This fry, it grows in your America ground? I ask. Hannah laughs. A sound like bells on a windy day. I suppose you could say that. You're Keck, right? I know because I asked your cousin. Hannah passes me a paper cup filled with strange and beautiful red food. Ketchup, she says. You dip your fries in it. Do what she says, then eat. You're a fine cook, I say. Hannah and Jaime and Nishan laugh. I feel glad I found enough words to make people happy. When a friend laughs, it's always a good surprise. Not knowing. I see your cousin at the apartment sometimes, Hannah says. He is a very quiet guy. I have to think for a moment. To eat such happy food and think about words at the same time is much work. Ganwar, I say, has many worries. Seems kind of sad, Hannah says. I look at the fry in my hand with its shiny coat of red. I want only to eat and not remember, but Hannah's words tug like a tight rope on a calf's neck. Ganwar lost his father and sisters when the fighting came, I tell her. Hannah nods. Her eyes are blue and gray, or maybe green? I can't be sure. I remember a kind doctor at the camp with such eyes. How did he lose his hand? Hannah asks in a gentle voice. I don't know the words for this. Some English words I hope I never learn. Men came with guns and knives to our village, I answer at last. To be in such fighting, says Nishan, is very bad. And what about your family? Jaime asks me. I stop eating. I take a breath. My father and my brother Luo, they were killed by the government men. I saw it. I pause as a memory pokes at me like a knife in my back. I was lucky to see, I add. Lucky? Hannah asks. Her voice says she doesn't understand. Nishan looks at me with eyes that know of such things. Maybe Keck means lucky to know for sure, she explains. Not knowing, it's the hardest. Yes, I agree, the hardest. How about your mom? Hannah asks softly. Guilt grabs my throat. I will not go to that black place today. I try again. She'll come, I say. I'll wait here for her. Waiting is hard too, Hannah says. And I can see that she also knows sad places. I push my tray away. I'm not so hungry anymore. Home. I take the school bus home. It's a long yellow cat, filled with screaming, laughing students, and many paper balls wet with spit. I don't think it would be easy to drive such a car. My aunt is sleeping when I get home. Ganwar enters with a white basket under his arm. The washing machine's in the basement, he says. The what? I ask. The room way down at the bottom of the stairs. I'll show you later. He surprises me with the smile like Luo might have made. A big brother making trouble smile. You'll like doing the wash. It's my job, but if you want, I might let you help. Sure, I say, although I don't trust that mischief smile. I remember well how Luol and Ganwar used to tease and test me. Always I was a little child with foolish ideas and silly ways. Always they were too old to bother with me unless it was for their own fun. The door to my aunt's room opens and she comes out slowly, yawning and stretching. How was school? She asks. You would not believe, I say. They teach you and feed you, and I have my own desk. We're going to visit the zoo where animals live and the planetarium where stars live, and I'm going to learn how to slam dunk in the class called PE. Slam dunk, or dunks, excuse me. And I'm going to learn how to dunk slam in the class called PE. Slam dunk, Ganwar corrects. Good, my aunt says, good boy. And she fills a kettle with water to put on the cooking fire. I want to tell her more, but I can see her mind is visiting other places. I think maybe I'll like living here in America, I say to Ganwar. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But you'll never really feel like an American, Ganwar says. You'll see. Why? I ask. Ganwar shrugs. Because they won't let you. He tosses a basket on the sofa. I'm out of here, he says, switching to English. Be home by. My aunt begins, but Ganwar is already gone. Time. My aunt sighs and leans against the counter. He's not happy here, she says. I know it's been hard for him, but he doesn't try. She rubs her eyes. I have to go to work, Keck. I've got an early shift. Eat what you like and go to bed by 8. I learned o'clocks at camp, I say. It is called time telling, but why not use the sun and the stars? My aunt points at the tiny clock strapped to her arm. Here in America, this is the sun. You'll get used to it. For now, just get some sleep. I watch her put on her heavy coat. She isn't even at work yet, and already she's tired. I go to the door with her. I stop and try again. Are you glad that you're here? My aunt seems surprised I would ask such a question. She thinks for a moment. The freedom is a great gift, she says, to choose your leaders, to walk the streets unafraid. But it's lonely here. And she hesitates. Hard. To change when you are older, to learn new ways, new words and new ways, that is big work. But for you and Ganwar, it will be easier. That's my hope anyway. I watch through the window as she tracks a path through new snow falling. Her footprints catch the flakes, then vanish like pebbles in quicksand. Okay, students, thank you for listening today. I hope you took notes and not go back and listen once more. Please upload your notes onto the June 22nd Google Classroom turn-in folder. Thank you.